4.5 years ago, I quit my job. And I was planning to build a business. And at the time, I thought that
Why did you quit?
I was feeling like dying there.
So you took action
Yeah.
from a place of not letting it in, and then it even got harder to let it in, didn't it?
Became hell.
Because you lit the fire under what you didn't want instead of under what you did want. That's all. Get out.
I started as a freelancer, being my path of least resistance. And my question is,
did it start to catch on, or was the financial conditions so pervasive that it was hard for you to stay focused upon where you were going because what was so intense?
Yes.
So thinking back on it, especially after what you've heard today, what do you think the path of least resistance would have been 4 years ago? Doesn't matter, because where you are is where you are. So the same thing applies today. But what would be the path of least resistance?
Maybe not taking my decisions based on that strong emotion.
Yeah. So you were where you were, and you didn't know any better then. You didn't know about law of attraction, didn't know about your point of attraction, you didn't know about the emotional guidance scale, didn't know about any about this, and that job sucked. It really did suck. And so anybody in the world that was listening wouldn't blame you for doing something different. It's just that you can't get there from there. In other words, most everybody thinks, if I can change the condition and I have a better condition, like to own my own business or to be freelance so that I don't have to do a bunch of stuff I don't want to do, if I could get that condition, then I would feel better. And that's not wrong. You would feel better under that condition.
For a while.
Well, the better it gets, 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 the better it gets. That's the way the law of attraction works. But when you take an action from what you don't want, the worse it gets, the worse it gets, the worse it gets, the worse it gets, until that experience causes you to launch enough rockets of desire that your desire is so strong that then the next decision that you make, you're called from what you want rather than trying to push from what you don't want. So that's clear. So where are you right now? What's going on now?
Well, I still doing some freelancing for the finances.
But what we want to ask is, this is the only thing we want to ask, and we are really appreciating you being in a position to answer this. Everyone's going to benefit by this. So if what you know now, and we think you heard it, we think most everybody in this room heard it, if the only thing that really matters, not the only thing, but the thing that matters most, if the only thing that really matters is tending to your own point of attraction, then is a story about something that happened 4 years ago that didn't turn out that well for a long time, is that a good use of your time right now?
No.
Because now is where it's all happening for you now. So do you want to tell a fortunate story or an unfortunate story? In other words, that's all. It's not wrong that it happened that way and you didn't do anything wrong, but you can tell by the way you feel that that's not the story that you want to keep active, is it? So what is the story you want to activate and keep active?
Have a lot of fun doing what I'm doing right now.
Say more?
Having more fun, getting more clients, giving my content to more people, reaching more people.
But now, hear this. You slipped right back into conditional alignment. If I have more clients, then I'll like it more. If I have more clients, then it will be more fun. If I have more, but you can't get there from there. So how are you going to tend to your point of attraction? In other words, you can't just evaporate. You can't just cease to be a thinker, but you can direct your thoughts to something that let a little more in and a little more in. Esther has a really good friend who got herself in a really big bind because she got mad at her landlord who raised her rent and decided she was going to move. And then couldn't find a place to move. And the months turned to weeks and the weeks turned to days, and now it's like 10 days. She still hasn't found another place to go. And so She was talking to Esther about it, and Esther said, Abraham, I need the big guns here because this is an urgent sort of thing. So we said, first we want to tell you why we said it. We know that in any point in time, your singular goal, the thing that matters most, is that you find a way to think and therefore attract as best as you can right here and now. You just want to feel the best that you can right now. Just want to soften the resistance and maybe turn your resistance into a little more allowing of what you want. So we said to Esther's dear friend, here's 3 doors for you to choose from. Door number 1, tell your landlord that you're going to stay right where you are, that you're not moving, that you're leaving all your furniture right where it is, and that she can just tell her new tenants that they have to go someplace else because you're not going, and you're just going to fight it out, and you don't want to pay any more money for it than you've been paying. That's door number 1. How does that feel? That door felt terrible. Felt like a big battle. It felt like a battle that she would lose. It felt like nothing like she is as a person. It felt awful. So we said, door number 2, put everything you have in storage and ask people you know if you can sleep on their couch. How's that door feel? That was almost as bad as the first door. Door number 3, just decide that all that matters is that you find a place. Let's narrow the scope. In other words, instead of thinking about everything that you would like it to be, bigger and better than this, and costing less than this, and a better landlord than any landlord you've ever had, and maybe a roommate that could share the expense, and maybe a lifetime lover. In other words, there's all these things that you want to tie into all of it, all of which you clearly have resistance about because none of them have happened. So let's just get real and feel as good as you can feel right now. What do you most need right now? A place to move my stuff, and me too. Door number 3, I'll find a place. It'll be available. It'll be available right away. It'll be easy for me to do whatever I need to get in. And do you know, almost immediately, because every place that she was looking for, the list was falling away before she could even get there. She would get there and there were 25 people already on the list. And so, do you hear the benefit of, well, how about this, which is where I am? But when you lay it out in detail, you can feel how off the track it is. So let's make some doors together. So tell us where you are and what you want. And let's make some vibrational choices with the intention of doing nothing more. We don't want to solve any problems. We're not going to attract clients for you. We're not going to download a whole bunch of money into your bank account. It's not like that. We're going to do something even better. We're going to help you soften the resistance, which is the only reason that all of that hasn't happened. By choosing a door and then another door and then another door and then another door until you can feel your point of attraction shifted. This is what tending to your point of attraction is. So where are you and where do you want to be?
I love to write, and I want to write my second book.
And I want my lover, and I want grass to grow on the moon, and we're just teasing with you a little bit. So that's a really big thing that you've had going for a while. Is there something a little more specific to your now that you're wanting to talk about? We're not at all mocking your desire. We just don't think that's the most active thing in you. Do you?
No.
What is?
I think I just want to feel more free, more complete, more satisfied with my life as it is right now.
So how is the opposite of that playing out in your life? What is it that makes you not feel free?
Maybe thinking that I have to do some things that I don't like.
But how's it manifested? I have to do stuff I don't want to do?
Sorry?
What is it? What is it that makes you not feel free?
That I still have to work for others in their contents, in their plans, in their terms.
So did you see what happened there? This is really good. When we asked you the question and you understood the idea of it, that we were going to find something that felt less good and then something that felt a little better, and then something that felt a little better. In other words, you understand that it's all about shifting the way you feel, which is the same thing as letting what's in the vortex flow to you, which is the same thing as tending to your own vibration. So you understood that, but sort of like Esther's friend, you had so many things that you've been trending in opposition to for a while. That's not the place to start right now in the here and now. Can you feel that? The place to start right here in the here and now is put the basket out there far enough that you can hit it, but not so far that you don't believe it. That's really what this is all about. And so after a little conversation here, when we say, where are you and what do you want? Where I am is I'm working for other people more than I want to, and doing stuff I don't want to do. And what I want is specifically related to that. What is it that you want? I want my own business. I want my own clients. I want my own inflow. I want my own ideas. I want the world to respond to me. But can you feel how saying it now after cleaning it up just a little bit makes more sense? Okay, so here, door number 1. I'm going to stop doing anything that I don't want to do, and I'm just going to wait for inspiration to come and feed my family with that. Doesn't feel like the best choice in the world. Door number 2. I'm going to just grin and bear it and keep doing all this stuff that I don't want to do, and suffer like I've been taught that I'm supposed to suffer, and just tough it out and be a responsible person and just make the best living that I can. Ugh. That was just about as bad. We might need several doors here. It doesn't matter. Door number 3. I like the idea that I can have what I want. And the idea seems a little frivolous, because seems like if I could have what I want as much as I know I've wanted it, I would have had it by now. So I'm a little wonky about that. But I do know how much I like moving in the direction of what I know I'm good at. And what I know I'm good at is
Speaking, writing.
About things that matter to me.
Yes.
I want to pick my own subjects. Door number 4. Probably a lot of clients out there that would like to hire me to focus upon things like that.
I like it.
Well, then energy just shifted, didn't it?
Yeah.
Your path of least resistance just became less resistant. Took a little bit. Then you can keep going if you want to. Now that you can feel that the flame is on under what you do want, you could say, ooh, I'm so good at what I do that I can stand in the shoes of anyone and find words for them. They don't have to reflect exactly what my values are or what I want. I'm really good at listening and tuning and finding words that match that. You are, aren't you?
Yeah.
These are your words. I would think that that's what everybody in the world is looking for. Someone who can put into words something that will benefit their quest. Ooh, I'm getting some words for my advertisement. I'm really good at helping you get to where you want to be. I understand the formula for success. I'm living it myself. I'm in the process of creating the things that I want. And I've really got a good momentum going. And I believe that I can help you get the momentum going for the things that you want. Now you're not only on your path of writing, but you're on your path of teaching what you're born to teach. Can you feel it?
Yeah.
Now, you all might be thinking that he couldn't have gotten there with us leading him, and maybe not as fast, but you could get there if you want to. And now you understand how it works. There's not one of you who cannot find a door that makes you say, that feels better. And when you do, your work in that segment is done. And here's the most important thing. You've now come to this place where it will be easier for you to get to the next and the next and the next and the next and the next. Until before you know it, your pot will be boiling and all the things that you want will be coming into your experience. Most people want that to happen so that they can feel good. You've got to figure out how to feel good so that that can happen. That's how it works. What happens follows your point of attraction, and your point of attraction is evidenced to you by the way you feel. Think about this. Picture someone being born into a famous musical family, and all around them is lovely music. It's what they see. It's what they observe. It's sort of all they know. And these people are happy in their music. That feels good. That's how this little one was born. And they're making money from their music, which is another thing that they want. And so if you're standing outside of that family, you might say, yeah, unfair, born into it, observing it, and we say, yes, we don't disagree with you about any of those things that you might be thinking, but this is the point that we want you to get. Born into the water boiling, watching it boil, watching it boil, watching it boil, watching it boil. So yes, observing good things can make you expect good things. But what if you're not born into a manifestation where somebody's got the water really boiling? What if you were somebody coming into a physical experience who didn't know how to play tennis but thought you might like to try? If you are a tennis player, don't you want to play with somebody that makes you play better than you played before? Or do you always ask for someone that you can beat every time? So what we're getting at here is that, yes, you're not wrong. It would have been easier for you if you could just observe good things and then attract good things. But it isn't what you chose. You came as a creator, wanting to explore the environment, wanting to choose from the contrast something that mattered to you. You wanted to know, by knowing what you don't want to work for other people, don't want to do things I don't want to do, what you do want. You want to understand how this all works. You want to know that everyone on the planet can have everything that they desire. Once they understand, all they got to do is want it and let it in. Step one of the creative process is ask. And life causes you to do that all day, every day. Step two is answer. And Source does that. That's that vibrational reality that we're talking about. Somebody should write a book and they should name it Ask and It Is Given. Because when you ask, it is given vibrationally. But what's step three? You got to find a way to let in what you're asking for. And when you don't feel good, you're not letting it in. And you're the only one that can change the thought until you feel good, like you just did. And once you do that once, you can do it about everything. Until it won't be long before you'll realize, hey, I want that, but I've been talking smack against it. I've been talking smack against rich people, even though I really, really want to be rich, but I hate those rich guys. I hate them. I hate them. I hate them because they have what I don't have. Yeah, they are an example of something that you are defying. Of course you're going to feel negative emotion, but you think it's about them, but it isn't about them. It's about you shooting yourself in the foot with these thoughts that won't let what you want in. Does that make sense to you? Really good.
Yeah. I'm knocking that door.
Yeah. Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah.